Welcome everyone to Already Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Tara, and we are going to talk about the Twilight Zone Season 3, Episode 32. It is called The Gift. So full spoilers for the episode as always. The premise of this one sees us in a Mexican village where everyone's speaking English because it's an episode of the Twilight Zone. And we have a police officer or a local sheriff or whatever the correct terminology is in a Mexican village for the law enforcement, whose fellow officer has died. He claims there was someone or something that he was chasing and shot at. And later on, a man shows up who clearly is the person that they were referring to, a mysterious young boy by the name of Pedro. Forms a friendship with this man, but the local army or whoever it is are coming to like help with the situation. Militia? The militia, yes, that's what it was. The local militia are coming to take care of it, and the boy's like sad because he doesn't want his new friend, who is basically saying he's an alien. Right from the get-go, he's like, I come in peace, I do not mean any harm. I tried to tell that to the police officer, but he shot at me. So
the gun went off accidentally, he said.
Oh, sorry. Yes, the gun went off accidentally. But that's the gist of the episode, and obviously it gets to a point which I don't know how I did this, but I actually predicted something in this episode exactly right, and I didn't sort of think it as a prediction. I thought of it as I guess it could be that. If you want to go for an ironic ending. The gift. I guessed exactly what the gift was. And when at the end of the episode, when the doctor's reading it out, I was like, wait a minute, did I get this exactly right? Oh, it is. It's a cure for all cancer. I was right. Oh. Happy days.
Yeah. Seemed a little silly.
It was definitely a bit broad. It was, you know. Mm-hmm. But hey, what did you think of the gift?
It's all right. I mean, it's not the worst. I like the ideas that it's playing with that because humanity would reject something that comes from the heavens with a gift the first time, in theory, with Christ, that we would do it again with a visitor from the heavens who brings us something good. We just have this xenophobia, even against something that is of no threat to us.
Yes, Christ.
Mm-hmm.
You're not feeling comfortable. You go with the first name. It's like Mr. Christ. That's who he is.
With the capital C.
He's Mr. Christ. Or sorry, Senior Christ in this case.
Well done.
The alien's not Jesus, but the alien, as he's lying there healing from his gunshots, because the doctor who's around has patched them up, basically like spells out the themes of the episode to us and talks about, and doesn't compare himself to Jesus per se, but talks about how Jesus came with all these gifts and no one really accepted them at the time, and it was, it took 2,000 years for people to believe in him, and so on and so on. Really choreographing kind of the ironic ending, which is that he's brought this gift, a cure for all cancer. He's an alien who's brought this, amazing thing that will cure so much suffering and stop so many deaths. And they were so scared and convinced that he was up to no good that they basically shoot him on sight at the end when he's not really doing anything. He's
and they burn the gift before they know what it is.
Yes. Well, conveniently, they can read the first half.
Except for the first page, which is the intro.
Here, this is a gift because we want to bring peace to all mankind. Here's a little treat. This is the cure for all cancer. This is a little vaccine formula. Here's the ingredients. Oh, that's where the burning took away the rest. Oh no. No vaccines for us. Which, honestly, I've heard the word vaccine enough recently. I'm like, shut up. This is too real right now. It's too real. I don't want to talk about it.
Are you allowed to say that word on YouTube right now?
I think you can say it. I mean, maybe I'll avoid it for the rest of the review just in case I trigger something by saying it over and over again. But yeah, this episode, I agree, ideas and the themes that it's poking at, and not being able to accept a good thing, and our fear getting in the way of just accepting someone at their word, and all the problems that creates by not extending a hand and trying for friendship first, and all these other things. I like all those ideas. The execution is leaving a hell of a lot to be desired. The characters are pretty thin through and through, I would say. I don't think I get a whole lot out of them. For a start, it's probably juggling too many, because we have the bartender, we have the doctor, we have the kid Pedro, we have the alien, we have the police officer who showed up first.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters.
I think the bartender is the one that stands out to me as like the one who's doing his best to give some character depth to him. I mean, I wouldn't say depth. It is pretty shallow, but like at least he's entertaining to watch. Whereas everyone else is kind of interchangeable in their acting. They could have played any of these parts and it wouldn't have made a difference. The kid, I think, is actually kind of bad.
He's also heavily dubbed. That's not his voice.
Yeah, okay. It's really awful.
Yeah.
Then the dubbing is bad.
Speaking of spelling things out, at one point, because the bartender like calls in the militia, and he tells the doctor that he's done this, and the doctor, because he says something about himself, and the doctor goes, "No, I think another name fits you, Judas." And he walks out like, "Oh, come on! Like, really? Are we going to spell all this out this much?" Do
you think the episode's kind of implying that maybe Jesus was an alien? Because that would be cool. This show has not avoided the subject of Christ before. That Burgess Meredith one was also very, like, religious. Had a very religious message.
I have no problem with the implication of Jesus being an alien, but
yeah, it's worked in movies.
I don't think. I mean, maybe it's implying that, but I don't think it's the important part of the episode. It's more about what it says about us and how we react to outsiders. Yeah,
it's very Day the Earth Stood Still that way.
Yeah, which
kinda
is
the same thing.
It's again solid idea. We love that movie, and it's the ideas are solid, and I kind of like the vibe at the start. I like the idea of like, oh, there's something out there that like killed my partner and like call for help, and they're all sort of like hanging around this bar and trying to like figure out what to do, and you've got the kid who's like talking about the stars and stuff. I honestly, in the first couple of minutes, I thought the kid was the alien until they started talking about his backstory. Yeah, because he was
like lurking around.
Yeah, I genuinely thought he'd shapeshifted into the kid, but as it was going on though, as soon as the actual guy showed up though, wounded, and then it became like him sick in a bed, I'm like, okay, everything I liked about this episode went away.
I also thought it was sort of leading to that any one of these people could be an alien, like the real Martian, please stand up, because that's something the Twilight Zone has done in the past a couple of times.
Yeah, or just there's something out there, right? So we have to be paranoid, we have to be tense. Maybe it's going to show up, maybe it's not. Maybe they're going to be suspicious of anyone who comes to the bar, but it never really becomes that, really.
No, everyone knows exactly who he is once he walks in, even though he's a human and no one's really seen him except for the police officer who died. I think that I also think it's odd that they place it in Mexico. Like, it's cool that we don't have the same usual, well, in this case, like Hollywood or Burbank that we normally get. But it also doesn't really make a difference. Like, there's nothing special about it being in Mexico either.
No, it's just basically just a change of scenery. I mean, change of scenery. What we mean is that they've got a backlot where they've put a slightly more Mexican looking.
It's still Universal Studios.
Yeah, it's still shot in the same place, more or less. But
and the actors are not all white, which is, I guess that makes it kind of special too.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It's neutral. I'm a neutral on this one.
It's not a terrible watch by any means. There's definitely been worse episodes, but like I look at the IMDb rating of a 6.7 and go, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it's all right. I honestly, like the last scene where the cure for cancer thing was just so like over the top in my mind that I kind of chuckled a bit, but also that scene leading up to it where it had a lot of, I don't want to say fast cuts, because they actually kind of took their time cutting between people to make the moment seem a bit more frantic, but everyone was still kind of standing still for too long. That I actually thought that part was not very well directed.
Yeah, it was also kind of like, I guess this goes back into the fear, but when they actually shoot him, like the boy's like facing him, and the boy's clearly wanting to go towards him, and he's walking slowly towards the boy, but he's got his hands open wide. It's not like he's like reaching for anything or anything like that. And someone goes, he's trying to attack the boy, and then immediately just one of them shoots him. It felt a little contrived, and the like I didn't get that feeling of like build up of tension. It just kind of happens. I suppose we have to also talk about the old blind man who's there early on in the episode. Again, another character who talks special of the boy and is like, no, you should take care of the boy, and sort of like pats him on the head, and there's like an intense close up of him as he's, and I'm sure there's a parallel here to something from Christianity.
That we don't know because we haven't read the New Testament.
It's like as the episode went on, it was starting to bring in all this more religious terminology and themes.
I know who Judas is.
Yeah, I know who Judas is. But as it was bringing in all these themes, I thought back to this blind guy and went, oh, he's clearly in it, like a parallel or an allegory for something in the Bible. Like he clearly is.
Yeah, I thought I had the exact same thought, and I'm like, I don't know who this is supposed to be. He did have a cool line though about like always being in the dark or not being afraid of the dark because he's always in it or something like that. I can't remember, but it was a decent line.
No, blind faith. Like, he's already got faith, so it doesn't matter. Like, kind of thing. Like, yes, it's there, but it's all kind of surface level. It's all a bit, I don't know, just a bit too hokey and this is good. Yeah.
The next episode looks kind of fun though. Something new that we haven't gotten in Twilight Zone.
Look at you try to transition me.
Oh, come on, we're done.
We are done, but I'm just, I feel like I had at least one more, like, yeah, I think I'm going to downgrade my opinion from it's okay to it's just middling.
It's okay.
The more I've talked about it, the less I've liked it. Less I've liked it. But okay, actually, I want to talk about the next episode. Rod Serling comes out and he's like, hey, chums, there's an episode coming next week. But yes, we're getting a ventriloquist episode with a dummy and a special plank of wood.
Yes.
That was kind of the weird part of the description. He talked about the dummy and I was like, okay, cool, dummy episode. He's like, and a special plank of like pine, and I'm like, wait, what? A special bit of wood? What?
I missed that. I just heard we're going to get a dummy that is wanting to do things his own way.
Well, let me read the description. So it's called The Dummy. Here's the description on IMDb. Ventriloquist Jerry Etherson is convinced that his dummy, Willie...
Pause for laughter.
His Willie's made of wood, which is why I'm laughing. Is alive and evil. He locks Willie in a trunk and makes plans for a new act with a new dummy. Too bad he didn't clear those plans with Willie first.
It sounds great.
Yes. For anyone who's wondering why I'm giggling at this, Willie in Scotland's another word for penis, which is why this is all very amusing to me. But...
the most famous Scotsman in America is named Willie. He's a custodian in The Simpsons.
Is he the most famous? Is that really the most famous Scottish person? I don't know if that's true.
Mike Myers.
Shut up. Mike Myers is the closest thing I've ever felt to racism, okay? Absolutely shocking. Shocking state of affairs.
I know. He's actually one of my people. He's Canadian.
Filth. Absolute filth. Should be ashamed of himself. Alright, that's the dummy.
Oh, behave.
Coming next. Were you trying to do an accent there?
No, I mean, he's English. He's trying to be English when he plays Austin Powers.
Yes, well, yes, he's a man of many accents, and every single one of them are insulting to wherever the accent comes from.
He's a national treasure. How dare you?
Not to every other nationality.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to The Dummy. I shall watch it with a pack of Chesterfield cigarettes. We got some animation in this one for the Chesterfields. Did you not get it?
I did get it. I was supposed to go bring it up. But you actually feel compelled to bring this up every time.
Because I'm just feeling it like in my bones now that I need it. That I need Chesterfield. I need the smooth taste of 21 tobaccos blended.
Oh dear.
It's working.
Yes, very good. The screenshots on IMDb promise some Dutch angles in the next episode, so
Ooh.
we'll see how this goes.
From the perspective of the dummy.
But let us know. That's a bit too high. I mean, this is a very tall dummy, but
We'll see.
But this is definitely eye level to this fully grown woman, so I'm not sure. But let us know what you thought of this episode of Twilight Zone in the comments below. Like and subscribe, all the usual stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mail_fuzz for channel updates. And Tara's going to tell you all about Patreon.
That's right. If you enjoy our reviews, please check out our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/mildfuzztv. And if you donate as low as $1 per month, you'll get access to bonus episodes for other shows we do. And if you donate $5 per month, you'll get access to these Twilight Zone reviews 1 week early. You'll also get Babylon 5 a week early. And you get Star Trek a week early. So maybe worth it. Thank you.
Yes. Also, if you want to check out our sci-fi movie podcast, The Atomic Cinema Experiment, on YouTube, you can find that on Mild Fuzz Movies, our separate channel for all the movie discussion stuff. So go and have a look at that if you wish. But that is us. That has been our discussion of Twilight Zone. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. Keep watching TV in the Twilight Zone.